Welcome back to High, Wide, and Handsome, a racing podcast right here on the Arson Brothers Network. I am Matt Klein, joined by the full gang back tonight, and we're coming to you a day early. Just don't call us the teardown. Sean, we'll start with you. Sean Allen back with us after absence last week. Did you catch up with Michael Jordan?
Well, you know, I learned a lot from last week's podcast. So let's see. First of all, evidently Michael Jordan may or may not have a restraining order against me now. Evidently, Joey Logano and I are both blind and bald. And my personal favorite, evidently when I say Jeff Griffith, I sound like Jimmy Hart. So I don't know what that was about, but it's ridiculous. But no, I did not catch up with Michael. Thankfully, I would assume. But hey, I am back. It's good. It's kind of good to see you, clowns.
Well, we missed you.
The mouth of the southwestern Virginia.
Yes, that's good. And then we'll go to you, Michael Sizemore, with us tonight.
Hey guys, what's up? Glad to be here. Just got done watching some hot racing there, so excited to be on the podcast with y'all fellas tonight. The Sunday night action, Sunday night heat.
Yeah, that's right. Throwing it back. And Jeff Griffith with us as well.
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I was watching I hope my work's not watching this because I was watching the race while I was at work. And the Fox app timed out on me right as the third stage started. So I think I hit a wall there, lost a tire, got home. But luckily I had the foresight to record it ahead of time. So I was able to just go back and start the last stage and get it caught up. So I'm all good to go.
Awesome.
Nice, man. Yeah.
Also, I really doubt my work's watching this. So I'm pretty safe.
Well, we hope not. Well, we hope so in a way, and we hope not for your sake, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, we'll take the view either way, bud. Your job's your job, but I mean, you know.
That's right. Yeah, big day of racing, big weekend of racing. Before we get into that, what you guys been up to? Anybody have anything going on this week that's worth noting? Nothing around, man. Boring week with the homeboys.
Well, it's been a really busy week for me. I was I guess fortunate would be the word to say. I had to be at the West Virginia legislature last week, so that's why I wasn't here. Not sure I'm going to say if I hope any of those guys are watching or not, but I hope you are. And so it's been a really busy week around here, boys. But the weather's finally improved, so at least we got that going for us.
It is 80 degrees yesterday. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Loving this weather above normal temperatures even, but we'll take it for sure. I hope it stays this way. Yeah, really just a work week for me, a busy day today as I'm getting ready. And the reason I'll note why we're doing this a day early, heading to Whitesburg, West Virginia, up in the Eastern Panhandle for a few days this week for a meeting with Megan. So pushed us back for a day. We're glucking it tonight, if you will.
Yeah. In the thumb.
Yeah, we're in the thumb.
In the thumb of West Virginia.
I've been near the pinpoint of the thumb. It's almost in Maryland, it looks like to me, but I've never been there, so we'll find out.
Well, we might be glucking it, but nobody's Jordan Bianchi in it on here. I'm going to tell you right now.
No, we just can't. We cannot match that vibe. That is
no, we can't.
All right, gentlemen, a lot of racing to discuss, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. All right, that puts us on the lead lap, where we break down all things NASCAR, and what a weekend it was in the desert. For NASCAR and for IndyCar for that matter. But NASCAR is where we are here, and we'll start with the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series event. Took place. We saw the closer, the veteran, Justin Allgaier, with a big come-from-behind win. Jesse Love dominated the first bit of the race. What did you guys think?
Yeah, it was so awesome to see Allgaier come. I mean, he battled some stuff, we'll just say, some pit problems, some what have you, and just the fact that Allgaier was able to, come through and close, like you said, close it and get past a very game and dominant Jesse Love through most of the night. I love that finish, man. I love seeing him get that. So that that was awesome. And just the O'Reilly series, I just feel like every week just consistently delivers exciting finishes and great racing. I mean, the argument can be made that it's possibly the best weekly series overall.
Oh, I think it is, Jeff. I find myself looking more forward to those Saturday races than any other for various reasons. But I agree with you. I thought it was a really fun race. Man, Jesse Love was so strong and looking like a defending champion. You know, that was what people were trying to, not give him a lot of credit for his championship last year. But I'll tell you what, he's came out this year and he looks like a defending champion, very strong throughout the race. And Allgaier looked like exactly what he is, a crafty veteran at the end. But the end of that race was very exciting and very loved it.
Yep. Big veteran move there by Allgaier, that pass, I didn't get to watch the race. Duke UNC was playing last night, so watched some college hoops instead. But I did watch the clips and just, Allgaier getting by Love, that's those years of experience. That was a great pass, and you love to see the old guy do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. All around, awesome win for Justin, and he's so good at Phoenix. He was kind of my pick to win going in, but then honestly, by the end of stage 2, I had give up on the train, I'll admit, and especially with Allgaier then with the pit road troubles. But, man, he came back and just absolutely tore through that field and got to the front and just left there with like 10 to go. It was awesome. I want to give a shout-out to Carson Quapple as well. He was really the first to break down the Jesse Love barrier, if you will. Got up there, put the pressure on Jesse. I thought this was the best race we've saw Carson Quapple run in the O'Reilly series to date.
Carson Quapple could have easily had a win last night. It almost felt like he was going to for a lot of the night there, especially at the end. It was cool getting to see Travis talking about it there on the sidelines. That was awesome.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Good stuff.
For sure. There was a time it looked like I truly thought Carson was going to get the win. So, it's coming for him. If the speed stays there, it's coming.
Yeah, I agree. I really thought he was too. Like I said, even when those two were battling, I still didn't really have Allgaier on my radar for the win at that point, which speaks to him. But yeah, definitely good run from Quapple. A really good night from Jeb Burton. I know we got some Jeb Burton fans among us, but man, he ran top 10, sometimes top 5, even all night. And speaking of that, the Jordan Anderson racing cars as a whole, fast again, man. Major props to them. They're showing that they've really stepped up this program this year.
Absolutely. My man Raja coming through with that 8th. I was worried about his stretch with Jordan Anderson, but man, he got it done. Good speed there. It took a little while to get it figured out. Got it done. Jeb strong all night long. I don't know what you can say, but man, both they and I think Haas factory team ever since they've made that switch to Chevrolet, I got a real kick out of both Sheldon and Sam Mayer, their interview. Somebody told them every time they talk to you, you've got to put over Rick Hendrick and them motors. Because boy, they were sure saying, I ain't had this speed in years. Both of them. So I got a kick out of that. But both those teams have really stepped up, and it's good to see for sure.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Haas running under that Ray Evernham SRX rule there. Got to speak kindly. But no, I agree 100%. Haas, surprising me. I didn't know. And obviously their O'Reilly program certainly doing a little better than their Cup program and has for the last few years. So I didn't expect them to be slouches with their switch, but I didn't know what to expect. But they look... I mean, they're right there with JRM for the top Chevrolet team here early in the year. I mean, straight up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to see. And I agree with what you mentioned.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
The top Chevrolet team. Are we forgetting the man? Big Country? Richard Childress Racing?
Well,
how are we throwing out top Chevrolet? Junior Motorsports has what, one win?
You make a valid point, sir. You make a valid point. Still at the top of the standings.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? Until he's at the top of those standings at the end of the year when it matters, I don't really care. So JRM is the top Chevrolet team and probably the top team in O'Reilly. So I'm not listening.
Well, I mean, RCR, I guess, was at the top of that standing at the end of the year last year, though. So I guess
Austin wasn't.
No, it was not Austin.
It
was not Austin.
My apologies to Austin J. Hill.
Yeah, I know. I love that we have another Austin Hill out there racing that gets
multiplying.
Buried. It's pretty hilarious. I'm sure. I imagine both of those hate that that's the case. Actually.
Oh, you know it. Yeah, you know it. But yeah, sure.
But I do want to say I agree with that. We were speaking, sorry to cut you off, the old Riley Series being the best racing. I think it absolutely is week in and week out, although the Cup Series over the last bit has improved. And this year, I mean, I think there's argument, but week in, week out. And what that reminded me of, I was reading a discussion over on the NASCAR Reddit this week, talking about now the current car that we use in the O'Reilly Series is now the second longest stint of a car in any of NASCAR's top 3 series. And people were asking, when do we think we're going to get that new car? And I saw most people in there, and mine included, was saying, hopefully never, that we keep this car style as it is forever. One line said, it can be 2064. I'm flying around in a car. I still want to see the same cars in the O'Reilly Series. But I agree, and that's a commitment to the racing that series puts on.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I'll tell you one, and I know this is kind of a tie-in with the Cup Series, but one thing I was shocked about, Matt, you mentioned how good Justin is at Phoenix. I was stunned that Justin wasn't the replacement driver for Alex Bowman this week, because he's kind of been in that role for a while. I mean, hats off to Anthony Alfredo. You know, I know we'll talk about that, and glad to see him get that. But I was really shocked that Justin wasn't the guy filling in. That was kind of stunning to me.
Yeah, I was surprised too. He's been the go-to for certain. And Alfredo is their sim driver, so maybe they just trying to do a solid for him. But I agree, it's usually Allgaier. And as you mentioned there, especially at a track that he's so good at, like Justin potentially could have had a really good day in the 48. But with that, slides nicely right into the Cup Series race. Really a pretty wild one, a chaotic one. We saw some of the hardest crashes that I've saw on a 1 mile or less track in a long time that I can think of, at least off the top of my head. But what we saw was Ryan Blaney make past 49 cars. He went to the back twice due to 2 loose wheels. The pit crew had lots of trouble, but it didn't stop the mustache. He came through, pulled it off. An exhilarating win and an exhilarating race all around.
Hey, if you're a Joe Gibbs driver and you're going to restart with very short laps left, don't take 4 tires at Phoenix. Learn your lesson.
They just can't get it through their head.
I want to point out from this win, what a huge day for my alma mater, West Virginia University, in basketball today. Not only did our women's team win the Big 12 title today, but one of our favorite sons, one of our legacies, if you will, Ryan Blaney, son of Hall of Famer Dale Blaney, today winning the race. I just want to point that out there. What a huge day for us here in the Mountain State.
Not even his dad.
Yeah, you ruined that, brother.
Uncle, dang it, nephew. Whichever one. I know it's his uncle.
Oh, it was set up so nicely, and you botched the ending.
But still, it's his uncle. He is a legacy guy. Yeah,
it is.
He also drove a Virginia Tech car for Wood Brothers, so.
We ignore that. No, you're right. You're right. Ending aside, we can't help but let in. But you're right. We do. Us WVU fans, we claim Blaney from his legacy. If you don't know, Dale Blaney, brother of Ryan's dad, Dave Blaney, is a WVU basketball Hall of Famer. Was a huge star in Morgantown. Got drafted from Morgantown to the Lakers. Went to L.A. Wasn't really feeling it. Went back to Ohio and raced. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, huge win for Ryan Blaney. We thought at times the different dudes were going to pull it off. Bell was trying all he could there at the end. At one point, Bell had a massive lead. Looked like he had the thing to beat. Joey Logano, the early part of the day, looked to be the car to beat, but he ended up kind of all over the place. We'll get into that. Ty Gibbs nearly breaking out for his first win. He ran top 5 all day. Was in the mix late. Lots to break down, really.
Tyler Reddick, he was in the top. I mean, I thought there was a possibility we were getting 4 in a row to start the season. I was pumped about it, but still good finish for Tyler.
Yeah, I was pumped about it at 2 sides, and all I could keep thinking is, my God, the conspiracy theorists are going to explode. Because he was right there at the end. I mean, I thought it might happen too.
Instead, we get the Fox conspiracy.
Oh, Penske perfect. Penske perfect weekend. Pole and win in IndyCar, pole and win in the Cup race.
Joey Logano at the IndyCar race. The Josef Newgarden at the Cup race. All kinds of hype on Fox for the Penske drivers.
Roger Penske's birthday weekend. Penske Racing 60th anniversary weekend and celebration. A lot to unpack.
Well, I cannot believe I'm the one that's going to defend this, though. But y'all, let's not act like. God, it feels dirty because if you don't know me and Ford ain't a thing. But y'all, let's not act like Roger's team ain't dang good at things. I mean, Lord have mercy. The most and somewhat they're good everywhere. But come on now, this is probably their best track, at least in the Cup Series. I don't know if I buy into the conspiracy. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Ron Blaney's excellent at Phoenix every time they go there, even if it isn't a doubleheader on Fox. The owners' teams win both races.
Yeah. I mean, the championship race being in Phoenix, I would argue, is probably there's 4 active drivers, but 2 drivers with 4 championships right now at Phoenix, and I would argue at least 3 of those. Most of the reason they have them is because it was at Phoenix. Yeah. So I mean that's not taken away from how you get there, but at the end of the day, that was a big part of 3 of those championships for sure. So. Yeah, I don't know if I buy into the conspiracy. every now the IndyCar one, maybe. I'm just saying.
But no,
with Ryan, I'm forgetting to put the car in park on his.
Left it in neutral and started rolling away from him.
Had to run over and stick it. I was like, man, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was good.
Thankfully, that didn't end in any kind of calamity, and it made for a good little clip. So,
yeah, huge day for Blaney. Passed 49 cars through the day. It's an impressive drive, but we will get.
Got his tire changed in Joey's pit box and had to go to the back.
Yeah, that one was almost. I mean, that one would have been totally devastating because I don't think they would have made it much further than they went had they not pulled that. Pitting out of the box rule that we've saw used a few times here in the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smart move. If that wheel goes off, that's a big penalty there. So your teammates in that front pit box, take advantage.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. As many tire-related issues as we saw today with bounce backs, it might have been all right if it came. I'm telling you.
It was wild. We saw tons of genuine tire issues, several, and then it seemed like all heck broke loose with tire issues at one point, but it ended up being mostly from debris from Noah Gragson's car, and we saw like 5 tires in a row, which seemed like something like the tires. I having flashbacks to what 2008 Brickyard 400, the tire fiasco. Well, nowhere near that bad as far as that, but that debris situation made it seem pretty egregious there for a minute. But tire issues nonetheless. I saw Goodyear clapping back a bit. They had tweeted out race 10 or before this race starts. Remember, our recommended tire pressures are not an estimate. Taking a shot at the teams because notoriously they run them lower than Goodyear suggests, and I think Goodyear saying that is the cause. So I thought that was pretty cool of Goodyear. Goodyear takes a lot of crap, and they've done a lot for the sport for years. And yeah, there's a lot back and forth of that, but I thought it was kind of cool.
Well, the Firehawk says you can do whatever you want.
That makes me think of an interesting point, though. The IndyCar rubber and the NASCAR rubber in both series, it played a role throughout the weekend. At least at the first of most NASCAR runs, it kind of got wore out. But that was something unique to the weekend that we don't see every time, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. So it kind of sounded like Wendy's was suddenly running the Goodyear stuff right there with that flatback.
Yeah, it did. Wendy's Twitter always going crazy on socials. We saw some monstrous impacts today. Briscoe's tire went out. He took a huge impact into the wall. Then we saw Cindric get essentially shot. His car jumped into the wall. It was... that one was brutal. At the end, Josh Berry with a big hit. Some huge hits, especially for a track like Phoenix.
Logano crushing into Berry like you smashing a can of Coke or something. It was wild.
It was. Logano was, he was pretty wild there. He was, because the first incident, he was pushing Ross like it was Talladega, even through the dog leg, which is the absolute worst spot. And then again, dogleg trouble. It looked like, I don't know, he got down there and tried to come back up too quick. Think he got a little loose and caused that accident. He kind of took blame for it, kind of didn't, just said it is what it is. But I mostly put both of those incidents on him. And obviously that's easy for me to sit here and do, but nonetheless.
Man, all I know is that Ross was trying to fight his way back up there after Logano got done with him. I saw he was like 26 laps down. I was like, what the crap? So, yeah, that's just all the more reason for me to hate Joey Logano.
He got back on the track at least. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, you can't talk about my bespectacled brethren like that. But no, man, Joey, I don't know what Joey was doing there, but I agree with you. It kind of looked like he was going for a drafting push or something. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, it was...
Man.
It's over the top. Well, clearly over the top as it caused the incident. So, I mean, and Joey had a fast car. It looked like maybe even through half the race or so that Joey was the car to beat, but all fell apart.
Both those Penske cars, all three of the Penske cars looked fast throughout the day. I mean, Cindric looked good there real early in the race too.
Yeah, it
was. Man, Cindric's car looked like somebody took a can opener to it after that.
It
My
did.
God.
Cindric's hit was brutal. And yeah, we'll commend the whole 2 team. As you said, they had speed. I think they would have been at least in top 5 range contention. And obviously, who knows what would have played out. But props to them. Cindric's getting better in this Cup deal. You notice they're performing more and more. I think we're going to start seeing Austin Cindric around, certainly more than we have the last couple of years anyway. And I mean, back in the now rally days, Cindric was hard to guard.
Sure. Yeah. Yes, he definitely was.
Matt, we're gonna have to get you to pee on Joey Logano's car again.
He deserves it after that. Oh man, he caught me. He caught me doing it. That's the problem.
Hey, but he just gave you the Penske. Hey, man, when he saw it,
he did. We'll tell the story real quick now. So, last year, Megan and I attended the Brickyard 400 in Indianapolis. Absolutely phenomenal all around. Of course, we went through the museum, the new museum. Again, absolutely fantastic. It's for me right there with the NASCAR Hall of Fame on that level, above in some ways even. Was certainly on that level. But anyway, there was a huge Penske racing wing, of course, and was in there taking that in, and lots of cool stuff in there, lots of Mark Donohue and AMC stuff that I was just eating up. But there was Joey Logano's championship car, of course, and I proceeded to take a picture pretending that I was peeing on said car. I did notice some of the employees and stuff were kind of snickering, laughing, which I thought, just in general. But then, about 2 minutes later, literally in walks Joey Logano with a group of Penske people. So I was like, I didn't really get in line to try to meet him. It almost just sort of happened because he walked in and turned, and I walked to the area and turned his Penske helper or whatever was like, he's going to meet people in a minute. She was talking to me because I guess she thought I was starting the line, which I guess I did, but I didn't mean to. And then Joey just turned around and was like, hey, man. And I was like, oh, hey, dude. Sorry I peed on your car. I didn't say that.
Wait, now that he's got the beard, are you sure it wasn't just Sean?
Sean caught me.
Well, I'm in favor of the bald Joey look, as y'all know. I was not a fan of the fake hair, so it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, funny little anecdote there. I got busted by the man himself. I hope they showed him that footage because they were in there filming. Oh man. Yeah, we'll speak on before we move along, and we'll make our picks for Vegas at the end of the show if you're looking for that. But we'll mention our fantasy league. We saw the crew chief, my dad Kendall, pulled off another victory today and grew the points lead. He had a pretty big win today, actually.
He did. He racked him up today.
How did none of the rest of us not take Christopher Bell? That's what I want to know. And as y'all can tell, I'm misspeaking and giving Ryan Blaney to his uncle and all kinds of stuff today. Like for the first half of the first stage, I hadn't looked. I was convinced I had Christopher Bell until I checked my lineup. I was convinced of it because I was like, "Oh, good, I've got him." But man, Kendall, he wiped the floor with us today. There's no other question about it.
He did. He was messaging me. He was worried about Blaney because he had Blaney. And I said, yeah, but you better be worried about Bell. You're the only one that's got him. And he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Worked out.
It paid massive dividends for him. I'll tell you that.
It did. Yeah, absolutely.
I made the substitution today, and it happens to me. That's why I hate when I do that. I had Busher, and I pulled him out of the garage for Priest. As soon as I did that, Suarez hit the wall and wrecked. And I had Suarez in my lineup, and I was like, man, I'm done. I knew I was toast after that. So, yeah, not a good day for me in fantasy.
Briscoe, Logano, they both hurt me. Yeah, I didn't have a good day. I am not off even to a great start of the season, frankly. But as I've heard many a driver say, we've been in the back before.
Hey, instead of having to pass 29 people, you only got to pass 5.
That's right. Yeah, it's going to be way easier day. But yeah, that is the official fantasy check-in. Anything else for NASCAR before we move on, gentlemen?
I got one quick little thing I wanted to throw out.
Yeah.
The post-race interviews. Did you hear that magnanimous little egotistical prick, Ty Gibbs?
I didn't actually. I was getting ready for the show and missed a decent bit of the post race, unfortunately.
Go back and watch it. It is the most condescending, fake, and oh my gosh, I was so annoyed by it, man. Just go back and watch it when you get the chance. It just more proof that Ty Gibbs is you know what we think about Ty Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs is what Chris Gabehart is saying he is. More drama on that. We didn't touch a lot of drama on that.
Yeah.
One thing I was going to mention real quick, guys, the points are fun to look at again.
Yes.
Tyler Reddick definitely stayed in the lead, as we figured he probably would, but his point lead did shrink a little bit. He's now 60 points ahead of second place, who is now Ryan Blaney. So Blaney, that win paying off big for him. Bubba moves down to third, Chase Elliott into fourth, and something that I just absolutely love seeing in fifth place is one SVG. So Shane Van Gisbergen, today, what did he end up finishing 11th after he wrecked 43 times?
Yeah.
So SVG, man, hanging in there in fifth in points. Love that. And then when you look down the list too, now after we've got past both plate tracks, that top 16 is starting to look a little more like what you would have pictured it looking like, in the beginning there. I mean, there's still definitely some dark horses in there, but it is starting to look a little more, your Bells, your Larsons, those people are trickling in there now. So.
Very well. Yeah, Reddick's only one whole race ahead now instead of one race plus ahead of second place. Very impressive. Right. And Bubba hanging right in there in third. Bubba snuck right into that top 10 at the end of the day. I like seeing that.
Yeah. Hey, we were talking about the best team in the Ofinity series, the best Chevrolet team in the Ofinity series earlier. I forgot to mention their big news. They hired the hottest young driver out there for some races this year. One of the races we're going to be at. Cleetus.
That's right.
Cleetus driving for RCR. Going to be at the Rock where the High, Wide, and Handsome boys will be at.
Yeah, absolutely. That was huge news. Glad you thought of that this week. Yeah, a shock to a lot of people, but Cleetus McFarland, or Garrett Mitchell, if you will, signed with Rich Childers Racing, do some part-time Xfinity. My understanding going to eventually just be super speedway races, but they got to work their way up to that. But yeah, we'll get to see his debut, for better or for worse. Did you see RCR's own Kyle Busch talking crap about that decision? I thought that was interesting.
No.
Yeah, he said
Kyle Busch is so done.
Yeah.
He's just done, I feel like.
I thought that was just another cry of "get me out of here." But yeah, he said Brexton has more experience than Cleetus, which he's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all.
Don't say Kyle Busch is done, or the TikTok commenters will come after you.
No, I mean it in a good way. I mean, I'm not saying he's done and gets out of there.
I don't know, guys. I don't know if the Morale boys want any of that Brexton smoke yet. I'm only half joking too.
Right.
but yeah, no. And I just want to know: has anybody checked on Freddie Kraft since that's been announced? Does anybody know if he's okay?
I don't think he is. No. I get it. I get the backlash, and I don't disagree with it even. But I also get if I'm Richard, and apparently this, and I heard it directly from his mouth, if the Thursday edition of the Gluckcast, Ty Dillon. This was a Ty Dillon decision. I guess he's getting a bit more involved in management at RCR. And apparently this was a Ty Dillon decision. I do get it. He's a huge star. He's going to bring you sponsors. If you're RCR, I feel like Cleetus, if he goes out and crashes in every super speedway race, he's probably going to bring you more sponsorship than that car cost. Even at that. So I get it. And he's huge for NASCAR.
Yeah. How many people do we see buy their way into a lower series ride anyway? I mean, what's the difference between your dad being a senior executive for the company versus you being the biggest racing YouTube star in the world?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's just like any other business, y'all. You got to get the eyes on your product, right? And I mean, I get there are thousands of guys out there probably who have more experience and are more quote unquote deserving of the ride. But the sad truth is none of those guys are going to bring what Cleetus brings. And that's just how it is. I mean, is that fair? Not fair? I don't know. But I know one thing, way more people are talking about RCR and their O'Reilly product right now because Cleetus is coming. So,
yep. Absolutely.
Can you imagine what the merch sales are going to be like?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The haulers are going to be lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah, merch sales alone, I mean, probably pays for the experiment.
Mm-hmm.
All this tells me is I'm going to have to wait longer at the Richard Childers Racing hauler to get my Kyle Busch stuff because I'm going to have to wait to see this thing.
Maybe you'll want to invest your money better while you're waiting in that line.
Oh, don't worry. He's coming back with 3 Cleetus products, too. I don't even want to hear it.
I'm looking for that squirrel merch. That's who I want. That's my dude. He tried to run some ARCA this year. He got unapproved by NASCAR to start with, as we've now learned. But he's going to do some short tracks. He's trying to do some ARCA, and I want to see the squirrel out there. That's my guy on the Cleetus channel.
Need to get him on the Cars tour.
I mean, honestly, that's what they both need. And as Dale Jr. said on Cleetus was on his show this week, he's like, brother, you own a racetrack, buy a late model and go out there and make laps all day. I mean,
yeah.
But Dale Jr. ain't putting them scrubs in no car.
All right, that's wrapping it up for the lead lap. All right, that puts us beyond the banking. And this week we saw IndyCar with us in the desert at Phoenix. I love IndyCar on ovals, and boy, did Phoenix deliver.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild race. I mean, almost as rough as the NASCAR race. I guess not quite, but man, for IndyCar, whatever that variable is, really wild. But in the end, Josef Newgarden complete that Penske perfect weekend, pulled it out. A huge come from behind win. Took 4 tires late, sliced through the field, his 33rd win. Alex Palou, first time not a points leader for the first time in what? I have it here, like 600 and some days or something to that effect. Pretty wild. And we've lost Jeffrey.
Oh, no.
Christian Rasmussen living up to his wild driving reputation. He's the Carson Hocevar of the IndyCar series for us NASCAR fans, if you will. I thought he was going to do it though, man. He was fast, but just wild end up in a situation. Heartbreaker for Will Power. That's who really bit the Rasmussen bullet.
Y'all know I don't watch a lot of open wheel racing. I told you I was going to watch more Indy this year, and I did watch Phoenix. So I'm proud of myself.
Yeah.
But I've always thought, they got those little the blades on the front of the car. How they're not cutting tires with those things all the time. And then Will Power got his tire cut.
Yeah, they are cutting them. As a matter of fact, Jeffro back. Can you hear us, sir?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah,
So we're just discussing Will Power's heartbreaking day, which I imagine you probably got something to say about.
Man, yeah, I was so pumped. I thought he was going to pull it off, get that first win under Andretti, and it just was not to be. It was just not to be. Honestly, that was like the biggest thing I was pulling for yesterday. But just like you said, didn't happen. And so I was still happy with the race itself. I had 2 people I was pulling for, and Will Power was the only one I think really had a legitimate chance at winning it. So,
well, who's the other?
The other one's Felix Rosenquist.
Okay, yeah. Will Power, I really didn't expect that. With this Andretti, I thought they'd at least take some time. Andretti up and down the last few seasons, but man, Will Power looking good. We've lost Jeff again. But we'll move along to another wild race of the weekend that happens every year. Not normally something we touch on, but our own NASCAR 7-time champ, Jimmie Johnson, returning to his roots and the Unlimited series of the Mint 400, the Super Truck, Baja truck. I don't even know the proper terms. I'll show my stupidity on some of this. I did throw it on as the speed with Harvick and Buxton, whatever it is, that I thought was just going to be a podcast, but apparently it's going to be also a YouTube venture that is going to show some racing, but they carried this whole thing live, and that was pretty cool.
Sweet.
Peeked in on it a few times. I know you did, Sean.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it too. Man, that Jimmie Johnson wreck was.
Yeah.
Did you see that? The roll up. Oh my gosh! And then there was a clip at one point. The door was coming off his truck. I mean, it was a wild time, man. But it was what I saw was super cool though. A lot of fun.
Yeah, it was neat. Robbie Gordon was also, which I think I think that's what he does regularly, and his son for that matter. Yeah, Jimmy in qualifying on Friday, as he said, gave it too much sauce and rolled that truck. Ended up on his top, pretty nasty looking. He was okay, but yeah, they had a time in the race. I did see they had 2 flats, and then the team they changes their own flat, so they was just jumping out of the truck, changing flat, loading the tire back up. 1 lap at that track is 95 miles.
Wow.
I think they ran like 5 laps or whatever it is, or something to that effect. But just so unique from us NASCAR fans.
Let's see stage racing there where you shot.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I thought it was really cool though, man. It's something like I'm like you, man. It's not something I know a ton about, but what I saw of it, I thought was a lot of fun, really cool, and I really like how guys like Jimmie Johnson are doing those sort of random things like that, right? Because it's things that like people like us may have never turned on, and then here we are now talking about it. So yeah, nothing but positive for that for me.
Yeah, same all around. Cool to see. And, well, again, I'll admit I don't know anything about it, but I'll note Kyle Jurgensen, possibly pronouncing that wrong, won the Unlimited apparently in a spec truck, which is the lower class. So I thought that was worth noting. Apparently that was quite the big deal I saw going around. But, yeah, it was fun to check out.
I was hoping just to come on here and say Jimmie Johnson ran a truck so Size would tell us for 15 minutes how he's a bushwhacker and how why is a 7-time champion beating these. Yeah, that's what I was hoping.
He's saving that for San Diego. All right, that moves us into the debacle of Formula One. I'll admit I did not watch Formula One behind the Apple TV paywall now, which I mean I think I have access to, but I didn't get to. But a lot of people are very, very upset. One about the TV paywall, but also mostly about the new rules package. Which, again, I'll show my ignorance, but from my understanding, their batteries build power, they gain power as they drive, and some of the race directors say we're losing battery power, having to coast to gain that battery back up and then back on the throttle. It seemed really odd. However, I did watch the highlights of the race. It created some passing at the front of the field, which is a bit of a rarity in F1. I've saw a lot of fans calling it fake passing or entertainment racing. I don't know. George Russell put off the win. I do like George Russell, so I'm okay with that. But I don't know. Did you guys see any of this or any of the fallout going around online?
Boys, it's been 10 years, and y'all just now got me watching American Open Wheel. It's going to be like 2050 before I watch the European stuff.
So I just... Again, my ignorance, because I enjoy F1 enough, but I'm not a huge fan of it, and so I just learned this weekend about the paywall thing and everything. I didn't see any of it. I do have Apple TV, and there is the only reason. And I'll be honest, and folks, if you're listening, go take advantage of it. The only reason I have it is they run crazy deals to get you on it. So like you can get so many months for this or that. But I mean, I can't imagine. I'd have to go see some of the racing to see what it looks like, but I can't imagine that more passing in F1 wouldn't be anything but a good thing in my eyes, because I know every time I watch one of those races, I'm always just kind of like, all right, when's something going to happen? I mean, not saying that what they do doesn't take a tremendous amount of skill, nothing that I'd ever want to touch with my life, but but that's one of the reasons why I don't watch it a lot, is because it feels like there's not that much happening a lot of the time to me, and that's me as a novice viewer, of course, maybe not understanding everything that's going on.
Well, I mean, I'm maybe a bit above a novice viewer, but I'm not nearly as up on F1 as I should be. I have watched last at least probably 4 or 5 years most of the races of the season, but again, there's just so many technicalities in that, and I put so much of my effort into NASCAR and other American type racings that we're used to. But I agree, F1, more passing is definitely, to me, a good thing. Just watching the highlight package, I thought it was quite entertaining. But again, as not a diehard, I get this. I saw a lot of people comparing it, saying F1 is the new NASCAR 2010. They signed a bad TV deal, spec cars referring to the car tomorrow. There were a few things saying that they're going the route that put NASCAR on the downhill side. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch how this develops and how the fans' reactions are. And as we hear, I don't have a strong opinion either way, myself included, not yet at least. But I think that's going to be an interesting situation to see develop through the season.
For sure. You saying that makes me more intrigued to make a point of checking it out.
Well, so, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I wonder what Jeff thinks about it.
Okay, that I do have an update. Jeff he will not be joining us the rest of the show. A situation with some family going on that we pray everything's okay there.
Yeah, definitely hope everybody's all right.
Yeah.
But that said, not to end on a down note, we will move along. All right, that moves us into the Bullring Report. This week, on track racing, it's all about the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series, and you all know I love that. They were at the famed, the infamous Golden Isle Speedway in Georgia, and I learned some things this week that I didn't know about this track from in the late 90s, early 2000s, before my time. A bit being able to keep up with. I was watching races. It opened up a unlock of memories of just that. There's a piece going around from Flow on this track from back in the day. Apparently this track used to be a 5/8 mile huge track that they mixed oil into the dirt to make it faster. Late models used to run 160 mile an hour plus down the stretches at this thing in the late 90s, early 2000s. And those cars were not even like the cars we have today. I'm talking about Bloomquist, some other guys. I did not realize this, but
all right, listen, Flo, make that happen again, and you'll get my money.
Yeah, absolutely. They called it the Dirt of Daytona, or the Daytona of Dirt. Excuse me. Wow. At that period, there were some interviews with some former drivers, a few that are still racing that had raced on it, and they were just talking that for the most part they were straight up scared.
Yeah, I imagine.
It was wild, but now they reconfigured it. I don't have the exact year. It's still a fast, like 4/8 of a mile track, very fast track, but man, nothing like what I saw. So it's on the socials on Flow, and there's probably a longer bit on the actual Flow service. If you have that, I'm going to try to find that, but find that on their social clips, because it is interesting. It's wild to see some clips of those late models rolling that quick. But anyway, that gets us this week's weekend of racing. We saw Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night action. Wednesday night included as well. Saturday being the main. That's kind of how the Lucas Oil Series rolls. They come in town and kind of build. Each race of the weekend gets to be a little bigger. Saturday night was a $25,000 finale. But anyway, Wednesday through Friday, we saw a three-peat on this side of the world as a Superman, Jonathan Davenport, put off 3 in a row, and that surpassed Scott Bloomquist as the all-time wins leader and for the Lucas Oil Late Model Series Tour. And my favorite moment, I think, still of the weekend was Davenport, who is very conservative in his manner and his actions, his verbiage, got out and did the infamous Scott Bloomquist crotch chop, which, of course, is the X, as we know, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah, man, watching that, seeing the clips of it, that's emotional, man. And I know you never think you'll get emotional seeing somebody do a croc. but in all seriousness, when you know the meaning behind it and everything, and knowing he just passed him, that was kind of emotional, man. It was cool. Yeah,
it was, and that along with that old Golden Isles video that I spoke of, kicked off memory for me. And thinking about why did I not know that? As far as about that track, but you couldn't keep up back in the day. But I do remember Bloomquist being like the first big late model guy that I kept up with a bit as a kid, and I'm sure a lot of people. But just in like the old Circle Track magazines and things you get. So yeah, that just a really cool moment there with Davenport. And Davenport, the last few years, one of my favorites on the dirt as well. So it's really cool. But then Saturday night for the big show, man, it got wild. They had a wild race. We saw 17-year-old Trey Mills look like he was going to show up the men for his first win, but he got to the lead and flipped that thing, got up into the wall and rolled it numerous times. It was brutal. Fortunately, he was okay, but just a wild. There were several big crashes. But then throughout the race, Devin Moran, who's off to a fantastic start, come from 22nd and outdueled Max Blair, who started 25th, ended up with a late race slider, pulled off the win. Great weekend of racing there.
Awesome.
And we got a bit of new. Well, we'll note the high limit racing sprint car season officially starts this week. Starting with, I guess their midweek series, as you call them. They're in Vegas. This is one of those ones that follow the Cup race. So I expect we'll see some, obviously probably Larson, but possibly some other dudes. Ty Gibbs showed up there a few times last year. So we'll see who shows up at the high limit event this week. And
do we know if that one's televised, Matt?
I don't think that's one of the shared ones. I'm not 100%, but I don't think.
I took a quick look and couldn't see it, but I wish, man, I'd like to see that. I really enjoy that midweek stuff.
Yeah, really cool. And that dirt track there at Vegas puts on a good show as well.
For sure.
Big news is Dale Jr. announced another Cars Tour race. He'll announce Teal will participate in the Nashville Fairgrounds race this season. So it'll be cool to see Jr. at that historic track.
Yeah.
That's been one of the places he's been beating the drum for a good while now. So a good thing he's putting it. I don't know if it's money, if he called his money where his mouth is, whatever. He's going and doing it. So like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Junior always he's helped a lot of these older tracks get revitalized, and I know they'd like to get some NASCAR action at the Speedway. I think that's going to be a little harder than some of the others, but they've still got it going for other stuff, and it's pretty cool. All right, that's it for this week's Bullring Report. All right, that brings us to this week's Hall of Fame, where we show off our collectibles, cool hauls, finds, what have you. This week, Mr. Michael Sizemore, from my understanding, has quite a treat for us. I'll turn it over to him.
Yeah, I got this yesterday. Yesterday, my mom and sister went thrifting down in the Bristol area. Went to Haven of the Valley, I think was the name of the thrift shop down in Bristol, Virginia, Tennessee. I don't know which. I think it's on Tennessee side, most likely. Maybe Virginia. Anyway, you know where Bristol is if you're a race fan. But, she sent me a picture of this, and she's like, hey, they have this at the thrift store for $8. Do you want this? And my answer was yes. Obviously, I want this. I want this full-size stand-up of Johnny Benson in the pins or in the Valvoline fire suit. Let him take over the show here for $8. I feel like this is $8 well spent right here.
I think that's the best $8 I've saw spent in a long time. I love that, man. I love it. That's
with us.
Man, I was huge into Johnny Benson at that time. The MB2 Motorsports. That Pontiac, they showed up in Daytona with just a white car, was fast, then got some Valvoline money, was fast, pulled off a win in Rockingham. That's an incredible piece.
No, dude, that's awesome. I haven't thought about Pontiac in a long time until I saw that logo on that fire. That's really cool, dude. I love it.
You know we love a stand-up. Look behind Matt. You can't even see Texas Terry back there. He was the original AB stand-up.
Yeah, Terry's the main rod around here. He's decided he doesn't want to be on camera just yet, but we're getting there. Well, yeah, there's several stand-ups amongst this what have you behind there. They're so hard to pass up, but they're so big.
Yeah.
All right, I don't have the stand put together, and I'm tired of holding it. So.
Goodbye, Johnny.
I'm tired of holding you, Johnny.
Yeah, that was an awesome find. Bristol always a hotbed for NASCAR stuff. Probably any NASCAR town is.
Here's the best part of the story. She called me back after she sent me the text, and my mom did, and I told her to pick it up for me. And she said she also got a 2004 NASCAR Cup Series, I think it was Sprint at the time, schedule with Dale Jr. on it. And the guy gave her a deal for buying two things at once. And somehow the deal was $6. So instead of paying $8 for Johnny Benson, paid $6 for Johnny Benson and a Dale Jr. schedule.
Man.
That's basically a giveaway. I mean, like that's free at my point. At this point,
Let's get this out of my way.
I'm tired of staring at Johnny Benson all day.
Good find. Yeah, that's a cool one.
I just wish you'd have told me that Johnny Benson was working as a barber at that flea market.
A different flea market, different thrifting. Now, we may go back to the Grundy flea market with the barbershop, which if you check some of our other videos, you can find one on. And Johnny Benson may be getting his hair cut there when we go next time. We don't know.
Johnny Benson goes there. He better be ready to square up. From what I hear.
I seen the video. Oh, man. Well, a flea market with 3 names can never fully be trusted. All right, that'll wrap up the Hall of Fame. And that puts us on the cool down lap. We're going to take this thing home. But before we can do that, we got to look ahead to Las Vegas. Time to go gambling, boys, because we got to make our picks.
Woo.
Viva Las Vegas.
Woo! That's right. Sean, since we did you dirty last week, we'll let you start things this week. Let's hear your pick for Las Vegas.
Well, I don't know. Y'all gave me Joey Logano. In the grand scheme of things, that's a pretty good pick. But my pick for Las Vegas, call me a homer if you want, but I'm taking the reigning champion of the series, Kyle Larson at Las Vegas. It's a big fast track, and he tends to excel on those things. So Kyle Larson is my pick for Las Vegas.
Not bad. How about you, Size?
Well, now I'm mad that Sean picked a HMS driver because I was going to pick an HMS driver. Because I feel like Vegas, it's time for Billy Bo Byron's to take it over. Chevrolet's getting their first win at Vegas, and it's going to be William Byron.
Oh, Willie B. Well,
Good pick.
I'm going to have to stay on that boat because that was my pick as well. William Byron back to 24, back to victory lane in Vegas. Chevrolet Stable Boys here this week. So we'll give Jeff Ryan Priest. That's his boy anyway.
You know he's not going to take. He's going to take a Ford guy anyway. Most likely an RFK guy. So that's fair. Yeah, he's not going to be mad about that.
No.
If he takes a Chevy, he's taking Carson. So he's one of those two. That's how it's going.
That's right. Looking forward to Vegas, first mile and a half of the season. See how it all shakes out, and see how that Chevrolet fares with that new nose. Although I think we're okay, but it will be interesting.
Oh yeah, another person who fares well at those kind of tracks too is the now infamous, I guess, Tyler Reddick. So could we see a little Tyler Reddick sandwich, right? With Blaney busting it up this week, and then he come back next week. It's another good possibility. I think.
Absolutely, I think both 23. Well, 2 of 3 2311 cars will be fast. I think Bubba is going to have some speed in a mile and a half as well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, me too. Anything else, gentlemen, before we sign off?
Hey, if you watch this before Wednesday the 11th, 6:30 p.m. at Big Noodle in Tazewell, Virginia, this guy's hosting trivia, so come on out.
Yeah, if you're from our region, go check him out. The new Trivia Man down at Big Noodle in Tazewell. I can't wait to get down there, hopefully in a bit.
Yeah, Size is our personality, our celebrity, whatever you want to call him. He's the one out hosting things, doing all this stuff. The rest of us just hide at home and hope for the best. But Size is brave enough. Size is brave enough to get out in the world with you folks. So go sing, if you will.
That's right. Buy him a drink. He'll give you an answer. He'll give you the answer to a question.
That's right. I'm easily bribed.
Depending on what you have, you might leave with his hat or something.
I've seen it. All right.
Johnny Benson may come too.
I think he should. That should be the gimmick.
Co-hosting Johnny Benson.
No, you host as you wanted to do here one time behind Johnny Benson as Johnny Benson with you talking through the mic. I think that would be top notch.
Well, if that happens, Matt and I may come as Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin. But I at least have to be Mark Martin because I ain't gonna be Rusty Wallace.
Well, I know how much you love Jack Roush, so I knew you'd want to be Mark Martin.
Out of the two, it's got to be Mark Martin.
Oh, goodness. All right, gentlemen. Please like this video. Subscribe here to the Arson Brothers Network on YouTube. Check us out on the socials, High, Wide, and Handsome on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Arson Brothers Entertainment as well on the same places. We hope the best for Jeff. I'm sure he'll be back next week, and we all will. So, until then, good night and good luck.